Ryan, Disney is giving us our 4th Disney Plus Marvel exclusive series starting this week. Teased at the end of Black Widow. Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner returns as the arrow-slinging fool. 6 episodes are going to be the total run, so I think it's even shorter than Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think that was only 9. I think it was 9. So yeah, it's very short, 6 episodes. Haley Steinfeld is going to play his, we'll say protege, but we'll put an unwilling in there, even though she is more than willing. He is not. We got to screen the first 2 episodes, which will kick off the series this Wednesday on Disney Plus, and then we'll get the remaining 4 episodes in the 4 subsequent Wednesdays. So we don't want to spoil anything, obviously. So we'll talk like we did early on in Falcon and Winter Soldier and whatnot, the feel for the series and what we think they're trying to do and how they're doing it. So 2 episodes. The first one is mostly Kate Bishop, played by Haley Steinfeld. And the second one is more Jeremy Renner dealing with her, but it is more his episode. So the first 2 episodes are pretty divided, in my opinion, between the 2. So we're getting to know them in these 2 45-ish minute long episodes. What did you think of, just in general, how'd you feel about Kate Bishop, the young wannabe young lady?
the rich girl who has really bad judgment.
So unusual.
who has no sense of I'm fine. I'm on board up to this point.
Anything in particular bend you that way?
Well, I think we're just getting to know her,
right?
But I think we get to see a different side of Hawkeye than we have before. Or not as much as we saw a particularly devastating scene at one point with him and his family.
Yep.
But now we get to see him, a little
trying to be dad,
doing the best he can.
Post blip.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, it's. And it's a good. I mean, it's very comic booky, and there's and I kind of like that. You've got bad guys who have mustaches, and you have I mean,
right?
Or guys who may be bad guys who have mustaches, and because they have a mustache, you just assume they're bad. I don't know.
That's why I started shaving mine. Too many people thought I was a villain.
You were just but yeah, I mean, I just kind of dig what they're doing.
Is it me, or I liked it? I just watched it yesterday. I had some trouble getting in, so I'm glad I actually got it before they closed the door on me. To me, more than any of the other 2 live action What If doesn't really count, but even more so than WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, this feels more like the Netflix shows. And I don't know why, because the only thing they really have in common is that it's set in New York, and New York just lends itself to a certain realism and grittiness.
I think that maybe that has something to do with, well, I don't know. It's
not quite as dark as like
I was going to say,
but it's not quite as goofy as Iron Fist.
No. So it's to me it feels the most like I don't want to say what we've seen before, because that's not exactly correct, because we're seeing, but I think we're there's a lot of familiarity. The setup for this we're familiar with. The sort of the central thing that gets everything rolling is in a way, as audience members, we know more on this one than some of the characters do.
or on either of the other two series.
Yes, and I think that's always an interesting dynamic. When
we're starting from a more comfortable place.
Yes, but also going to somewhere that's a little bit different.
Yeah, we're not there yet, but we're getting there.
So, I'm. Look, it could completely bottom out on the next episode or whatever. But
yeah,
but up to this point, I'm okay with everything. I think. I mean, there was no moments where I winced. There was nothing. No, I mean, but I mean, I can't say that for some of the recent outings. So, right. I'm pretty much on board. I think.
Do you think maybe that's just because it's Clint, and Clint has always been so relatable and grounded? He's literally us.
That might be part of it. Well, yeah. I mean, he's the least super of the superheroes, I guess.
Right.
I mean, and I think his motivation on this is interesting.
Right.
I just and it plays off of some things that we've seen in the past, and I don't know. I mean, I just think that there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here now. Again, it's early on,
but again, they don't have long to go.
No, but they don't have long to go, and so and it's funny because it's like, well, it's only going to be like 4.5, 5 hours.
That's two movies.
Yeah, well, not 2 Marvel movies. That's maybe 1.5 Marvel movies.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, but I mean, it's just kind of funny that, well, this one's short. Well, it's still longer than
that is true.
A lot of the other stuff we got. Anyway, but no, I think I'm interested. I mean,
yeah, I don't. How do you feel about? I would be remiss if we did not mention Vera Farmiga.
Yeah,
is Kate Bishop's mom,
who has issues.
Who has? Sure, I don't want to veer into possible spoilery theory talk.
No,
but she has issues. She does have issues.
This is not well, and I don't. I guess, I mean, a lot of rich people have issues, apparently. I don't know. I don't know how that. I'm kidding.
It's so hard.
Well,
being independently wealthy. Well, I don't know if she's independently wealthy, but yes, they're rich. So Kate Bishop is a rich little girl. Not without skills.
No. So. She well, and I kind of like the reason why some of that setup too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff in there that I think, I mean, again, very comic booky.
Yes.
But
that
folks,
is true.
It's basically comic book.
Right.
Anyway, and I don't, sometimes you don't, I mean, there's certain things in comic books that work in movies, and there's certain things in comic books that don't work in movies, and everything they've done to this point works pretty much.
Right.
It's about as realistic as Friends.
Sure, and I can see why you say that.
Anyway, but no, it's I'm totally fine with this so far.
It's my favorite of the 3. Well, so far.
Wanda's probably my favorite. I enjoyed what they did with Loki.
Yeah.
There
were 3 live action. I forgot about Loki. I was thinking what if
Yeah, but Loki just kind of is in its own place too.
Right.
It's literally of its own world.
Right.
But yeah, no, this is what I had hoped Falcon and Winter Soldier would be. It's not a real risky thing.
No, it's really not.
But it's enjoyable. So
yes.
Let's just, I'm on board.
And they haven't even really started working together yet.
No.
Superheroing, if you will.
No, they haven't superheroed much at all at this point. So
yeah, through 2
there's
episodes.
plenty of.
And that's That's not a bad
harrowing
thing,
to
though.
do. No. I think I think they're establishing a particular kind of tension between the pair, and to me that works just fine. Obviously they got to do something with it, but yeah, at this point, I don't see, if you like, I mean, if you don't like Marvel movies, you're not going to probably care much for this. But if you're a fan of the Marvel universe, and you like a little bit of action, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of heart,
And Broadway musicals.
silly, and yeah, well, the silliness right there, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, but
I know I was rolling my eyes right along with Clint.
But yeah, well, I mean, there are bad musicals. I'm sorry that it happens, and does it surprise me that Rogers is a no.
No.
What is this?
It's not good at all.
But that's the point.
Yeah, that is part of the point.
It's not supposed to be good.
No.
And that's part of the fun of Rogers the musical.
Yes, the musical within the series. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so again, Hawkeye, the first 2 episodes are going to drop this Wednesday on Disney Plus, and then after that, you're gonna have to deal with 1 a week. After 2 episodes, we both like it
very much,
and this will get us through Christmas. This will get us probably wind up the week after Spider-Man. I didn't count weeks.
I'd have to
either the week of or the week 1, 2, 3, 4. Spider-Man opens on the 17th, so that should finish the week after. Yeah, it'll finish the week after Spider-Man. So look for. I wouldn't be surprised if there's not a wink and a nod somewhere between those 2. Even though they didn't necessarily line up for that during the generation, you know how Marvel has a tendency to throw things in at the last minute, especially in those post credits. So we'll have to see how that shakes out. But it won't surprise me if there's not a wink and a nod between the 2. But yes, it'll take us up to and just into Spider-Man No Way Home, which is next month, which we're looking forward to seeing whenever they give us a screener for that. Yeah, good stuff coming up. But yeah, no, Hawkeye's definitely good. I think Hawkeye's, man, they would have to try really hard at this point to screw this up. And, but again, better people have dropped the ball on things that should have been good. So in every genre, not just Marvel. So we have got a lot more movies to talk about between now and Christmas. We've seen some we're going to talk about. We've got more coming. We're going to talk about those. I don't know if we're going to get a Christmas specific episode at this point. But Hawkeye it takes place the week before Christmas.
Yes. With
Christmas as our deadline. So it's kind of a Christmas show. We'll go with that. If Die Hard can be a Christmas movie, Hawkeye can be a Christmas show. That's my story, and I'm going to stick to it until someone tells me I can't.
Well, they do go see the big tree, so.
They do go see the big tree. Yes, they do. So the biggest tree you've ever seen that would not fit in their living room. So, yes, good stuff. There you go. That's it. I hope everyone out there is getting ready for Turkey Day and has already started their Christmas shopping for Christmas next month. We hope you're staying safe. We hope you're having fun. We hope you're being good. And we hope you're enjoying yourselves listening to the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. And if you are, don't forget to like us, follow us on social media at VS Movie Podcast. You know the drill. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe over there as well. And until we get back with more movies, I am Mark. That is Ryan. Bye, Ryan.
See you guys.
And we will talk to everyone later. Bye-bye.